Good day to all of you. I'm Norbert Kamenov, and a warmest welcome to the new time on Jibek Joly World. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev paid an official visit to France. The plane with the president aboard landed in Paris at 5 a.m. The head of state held a meeting with the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. The parties discussed the issues related to the development of strategic partnership in trade, economic, investment, and humanitarian spheres. France is one of the main strategic partners of Kazakhstan. The trade turnover between the countries has grown by 12.2% since the beginning of 2022. The states cooperate in agriculture, the nuclear industry, education, healthcare, digitalization, and the banking sector. Joint ventures are successfully operating in the field of transport engineering, construction materials, medicines, and food production. Collaborative work is carried out to implement projects in the energy and space spheres, renewable energy, infrastructure development, and smart city. The parties are also interested in further development of investment cooperation and implementation of joint projects in the field of transport infrastructure.
Это так называемый срединный коридор, который идет через Каспийское море из портов Актау.
The new route is the middle corridor that goes through the Caspian Sea from the ports of Aktau and Kurik to Baku, then to Turkey and European countries. Very large investments will be required to equip and upgrade our ports and provide them with a sufficient number of ferries. I know that Azerbaijan is ready to accept such cargo, and I think that together with our French and other partners, we will be able to quickly establish these routes.
Французскими партнерами и другими партнерами нам удастся быстро наладить эти маршруты.
As for the volume of foreign direct investment from France into Kazakhstan's economy, it has amounted to $17 billion over the last 15 years. Representatives of Central Asian countries, the European Union, and the UN discussed the implementation of the climate resilience and disaster risk reduction project in Brussels. The participants of the meeting noted that a special program was created to improve the situation in water supply, agriculture, energy, security, and healthcare in 5 countries of the region. 3,750,000 euros were allocated for the first 3 years of its implementation. Serik Aubakirov, Deputy Director of the Center for Emergency Situations and Disaster Risk Reduction, told colleagues about the development and implementation of the first strategy in the region.
Обращаясь к Евросоюзу, мы прежде всего ставим вопрос об инвестициях.
Addressing the European Union, first of all, we raise the issue of investment and say that it is necessary to allocate funds for real practical measures to organize joint actions. The time is ripe for such a measure to establish a kind of coordination center for humanitarian response. Very often, issues of inconsistency arise because of a lack of communication and information between emergency response services, authorities, and those providing humanitarian assistance.
С службами реагирования по ликвидации чрезвычайных ситуаций властями и теми, кто оказывает гуманитарную помощь.
Now, Kazakhstan absolutely is playing a big role because, first of all, you are hosting the center in Almaty for emergency situations and disaster risk reduction. So it's welcome, and I think that you have been doing great work as a host country, but also by coordinating and cooperating with the rest of the region. And we just heard the deputy director of the center speaking how far they have gone in 6 years only. I mean, it's a huge job what has to be done, and it's excellent that Kazakhstan can do this for the whole region.
The trade turnover between Kazakhstan and Russia reached $24.5 billion in 2021. The results of the first 9 months of 2022 showed a 5% increase in mutual trade. Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev announced this during the Forum of Inter-Regional Cooperation between the countries. According to the head of state, Russia's investment in Kazakhstan showed impressive figures as well. They grew by a third in 2021 and exceeded $1.9 billion. At the same time, investment from Kazakhstan to Russia has increased by an equal amount and reached $535 million. President Tokayev pointed out that over 17,000 Russia-invested companies and Kazakh-Russian joint ventures are successfully operating in Kazakhstan today. 110 joint projects worth $23 billion have been implemented within the cooperation between Kazakhstan and Russia. Kazakh Prime Minister Alikhan Smailov instructed the Ministry of Energy, Industry and other relevant authorities to conduct a full technical audit of energy plants in the regions and report out to the government. He commissioned to investigate into the technological violation at the Ekibastuz thermal power plant and stressed the need to check the quality of the repair works carried out ahead of the heating season. According to him, it is important to pay special attention to the equipment and infrastructure of the facilities at risk. The Prime Minister also highlighted that the targeted use of allocated funds for the modernization and repairing of housing and communal infrastructure must be highly controlled. At the same time, Smailov instructed to continue the work on restoring the town's heat supply and eliminate all causes of the accident. Thousands of years ago, the Pavlodar region inhabitants were among the first to domesticate horses. This is according to the scientists who have been exploring the Botai and Borli archaeological sites for many years. The scientists provided some amazing facts. The chemical analysis of organic residues on the ancient utensils has shown that mare's milk was consumed 5,000, 6,000 years ago in Neolithic settlement of Botai. It was the ancient Botai people who first domesticated the ancient horse in the 4th millennium BC. Now all modern horses have the genes of the ancient ones.
I've been to this university a few times before to work with Victor, and I've always been very impressed by the archaeology that happens here. The theme of my lecture is about the most recent debates over the early domestication of the horse in the Botai culture, particularly, but also in other sites in northern Kazakhstan, and that includes sites that are in this Pavlodar region, where there is also very good evidence for early horse domestication.
Archaeologists note that the Botai and Borli settlements are an important discovery not only for Kazakhstan, but also for the whole world. After all, there has been a great leap in human progress with horse domestication. An archaeological museum of a university in Pavlodar contains unique exhibits which reflect the stage of domestication of ancient horses.
Это самая ранняя форма. Она просуществовала.
It is the oldest horse breed which existed until the end of the 3rd millennium BC, but at the turn of the 2nd and 3rd millenniums, a new breed of domestic horse was brought from the Pontic-Caspian steppes. The breed was more docile and easily trained. It was domesticated by the tribes of the Pontic-Caspian steppes of the early Bronze Age.
Эпохи ранней бронзы.
More tigers may appear in Kazakhstan. It is planned to relocate 4 wild cats within a 2-year period from the Far East as part of the reintroduction program for this rare predatory animal. In the future, in case of successful implementation of the project, the population of the extinct Turanian tiger will be restored on the territory of the Ile-Balkhash Nature Reserve.
Before placing the tigers on the territory of the Ile-Balkhash Natural Reserve, the population of Bukhara deer should be increased, since Turanian tigers mostly feed on these even-toed ungulates. The Bukhara deer were brought from the Karachingel state hunting farm of the Almaty region, where they are bred to date. They will be kept in a special corral for acclimatization for about half a year. Next, they will be released back into the wild, where the total number will make up over 150 individuals. This year, 60 kulans were relocated from the Altyn-Yamel National Park to the Wildlife Reserve. By 2025, it is planned to restore populations of wild boars, roe deer, gazelles, and kulans. This is to ensure that there are approximately 25 to 30 ungulates on the area of 1,000 hectares.
Российская Федерация готова начинать.
Russia is ready to start the relocation with 4 individuals to the country. It will probably be 3 females and 1 male, or 2 females and 2 males. It still depends on which tiger individuals will be prepared in Russia for reintroduction. Russia has extensive experience in reintroduction. Therefore, we expect our Russian counterparts to provide Kazakhstan with good Amur individuals, which will make it possible to restore the Turanian population.
Смогут превратиться в туранскую популяцию.
Overall, 415,000 hectares have been allocated for the implementation of the tiger reintroduction project. The wildlife reserve includes the Pribalharsky and Karaoisky reserves. The total area of the protected land exceeds 800,000 hectares. It bears noting that the project, which is designed for 35 years, is co-financed by the World Wildlife Fund together with the government of Kazakhstan and the UN Development Program. If everything goes as planned, then by the middle of the 21st century, from 150 to 180 individuals of the Turanian tiger will inhabit the country, experts say.
That's all the news we've got for you today. I'm Nurbek Kamenov. Make sure to stay tuned and I'll see you very soon.